What's up, y'all? Hey, I just had a thought that I wanted to share. It was about deep work. I was just thinking. I went for a walk today, got some exercise, and I was just really just trying to be thankful of where I'm at and whatnot. And I was just really thinking about deep work. Because I'm studying for different languages and things like that, and I'm like, what's the best way for me to be able to learn, retain information? And I was like, for me to study, like in my deep work, in my walk, in my journey, is that I need to be able to focus, like realizing the time and hours that focus best. Like I know me, how I'm seeing how I focus best. I focus best like in the morning. Like I'm talking about the crack of dawn. I'm talking about like the sun ain't up, and that's more of my deep thinking, fresh brain, trying to process information deep down, trying to gain a solid understanding of a particular subject or whatever. And I don't let the draws of life kind of like pull me different ways. Like, and I've been really cutting back on social media as far as it drawing me, so I don't do that per se in the morning or whatnot, which you shouldn't do anyway. But and then even thinking about, okay, working out, exercising, like, because those get my juices flowing like kinesthetically, and I'm moving around, I'm doing all these different things, and it's like, I gotta come back down, and like, versus you get to do those other things that you want to do, like, business, content creation wise and whatnot. So like I find like that the time when I do my best, like deep thinking work is excuse me, is like in the morning when it's quiet, no one's up, you know what I mean? Mind still, fresh, you know what I'm saying? You don't have anything else thinking in your mind or different things going on, and you get a great chance to accomplish those things. Like, and I'm almost like concerned I probably gotta talk or pray or whatever on it. Like not letting okay, if I do something different would take me off task and my mind be thinking about this or thinking about that. Because as I'm starting to do deep work, I'm starting to find out like those are the ways that best frame it for me to be able to regurgitate. So I'm even thinking about like, how I have stuff planned, like, okay, is your cell phone all the way across the room and whatnot. And so I roll out of bed or just have my laptop there and be like, all right, so I can start getting into a flow where you kind of like, cause I'm a flow type person, you know what I'm saying? When you get into that different type of work set and you're like, all right, here's what I'm finna do. I'm finna do this, and your mind's on it. You're not thinking about anything. You ain't thinking about food. You ain't thinking about nothing. You ain't thinking about social media. You ain't thinking about nothing. And that's the only thing I say. Spend this time. And you're not even thinking about like spending the time because you're already so engulfed in it time wise. You're like, dang, I'm finna get this. I'm finna get this work done. And then I'm trying to get into a set of like a rhythm or a pattern to kind of do more of that or whatever. And there's other things that I'm trying to work on, but I just really found that profound that I was kind of thinking about that as far as what I should do. But even to like, and then as you're trying to create your goals and stuff like that, think about that. But I just want to jump on. Those are some things that were on my mind, and I wanted to share that with y'all. I thought it was good. You know what I mean? So I wanted to just kind of, let y'all know about that. But yeah, all right. I'm out at y'all. My bad. There was one more thing that I want to say. And it was like today, like as I'm thinking about how I can do better in my deep work, but and I know that me going out for a walk took me off task to do the deep work that I wanted and needed to do. I could still probably do it later, but I feel like my optimal time is early in the morning. But like I cannot understate the peace that I felt today when I was just walking and I was, taking in air, breathing in the trees, looking at the sky, where I was like oneness with earth, with I don't know. I was just one. I just felt peace. I got up early, exercised and whatnot, and that was a different type of deep work. And how often do we get to go to that place, like those times in between? I mean, people probably do it in between at work, and I think there's like 4 quadrants or 4 areas, but that was something that was like immensely peaceful. Because as we're going through this life, we have the deep, high, analytical thinker we have to think. Then we need to have the oneness, the peace with the earth, with ourself and our being and our steadiness. And then like the, physical fitness, eating right and stuff like that. And I've known when I've pushed myself physically, this would be like a 3rd quadrant, when I push myself physically and working out and exercising and running and jogging and out of breath and trying to catch it, you know what I'm saying? And doing all those different things in peace to upkeep that area, to upkeep the going of that different thing, like to keep that. So it's like, my body can be working at its optimum, level and whatnot. So that's like a piece. So you have the thinking, you have the thinking, you have the other level, my bad. You have the other level where it's oneness with the earth and just peace, and then where you physical fitness. And then there's the competitive nature. And competitive is kind of like physical, but it's not. It's like the difference that you feel when you're competing with somebody, and it's not a no holds bar, but kind of like where true essence of sportsmanship is exemplified, but you're really pushing each other to the full extent where you're both gassed but you both put forth the highest being or part of yourself. So you got better, just that competitive nature of it. And I would say that would be the 4th. And then I don't know what to do with this one. This one is kind of like weird. It's like the relational piece. Like, I'm not sure if that should be in the oneness or if it should be a category all in itself to be the 5th category. But relationship and being with right standing with other people and, nurturing and developing those relationships and whatnot. So that's just something that I was thinking about. So there's deep work that needs to be done in all those different quadrants. And I would just encourage you to figure out how you operate best with that. And I just wanted to say that. And my bad, man, because I was thinking, I said, but my bad. So, so I appreciate y'all though. I'm gonna holler at y'all.